princesses, I'm back. This was also a request. One of my many friends asked about eye brushes and the differences and what is a good eye brush and what's a bad eye brush, and kind of just she wanted to revamp her collection and she wanted to know what she needed. Now there are tons of different brands and tons of different options, and some are more affordable than others, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the more affordable side because I don't really have any luxury brushes. It's something I want to dive into in the future, but as of right now, most of my brushes are drugstore or affordable, in the sense that you can order them from websites online. Let's see here. So to start, I guess I just want to talk about my collection. So my brushes are kind of eclectic. There's not like one set that works for me. That may be the case for you, but it's not for me. I specifically have brushes that I love from a number of different ranges, stuff I could find at CVS, Walgreens, Walmart, Target, and then others I get online from BH Cosmetics or Morphe. So that's pretty much where these brushes are going to come from. The two websites are morphebrushes.com. Tons of YouTubers who have discount codes that can get you 10% off, 20% off, etc. I particularly like Kathleen Lights and Nicole from Young, Wild, and Polished, so I would suggest using either of their codes because they're some of my favorites, but you don't have to if you don't want to, no big. And then BH Cosmetics is always having sales on their rolls of brushes and their individuals. They have sets, they have like a bunch of different stuff, and I really like the quality of BH Cosmetics brushes. e.l.f. is probably going to be the most fiscally efficient brand, and the quality of their brushes is amazing. The only problem I find with e.l.f. is that certain brushes I can only find online, whereas other brushes, they have like tons of them in store. There's the $1 collection, which is a white handle and a gold rim, and I used to have a brush that looks like I used to have a couple of those brushes, but I think that by cleaning out my collection, I've replaced them with brushes I like a little bit more. And then their $3 collection is the black handle brushes. A lot of their face brushes and smaller brushes look like that. And then they have a line of brushes that are black with like a silver rim, and those brushes are $6. So those are pretty much their tiers, is $1, $3, $6, and their $6 brushes are amazing. I love them. Most of those brushes are like face brushes for face makeup, like foundation, powder, blush, contour, that sort of thing. But for this video, I'm just going to focus on eye brushes, and they don't have any like elite collection eye brushes. All of their eye brushes are in the $3 range. So to start, I guess I should start with when you start your makeup. When you begin, you typically put a like neutral color in your crease just to kind of define your crease. Sometimes that's all you put in, sometimes it just helps to blend out colors. Those brushes tend to look something like these here. They look like this. They're just domed brushes. Some of them are fluffier, some of them are a little bit denser. Just kind of depends on what you want. Now, I am a brush hoarder. I love brushes. I love collecting brushes. It's kind of a similar feeling to when I was in school and I would go school shopping for like pens and pencils and notebook paper, and I just want all of them and I want to try all of them. Now, I used to have a lot more than I do now, but I've cut back on what I don't use. Sometimes I'll grab a brush, it's dirty, so I'll grab another one that does a similar thing or has a similar effect. And then sometimes a brush is more dense or less dense than another. The fluffier the brush, the more blown out your eyeshadow is. The denser the brush, the more precise. So the difference really is what you prefer your eyes to look like, or if you do kind of one look every day, you can just have 3 brushes, you're good to go. If you do a bunch of different looks, you might want a bunch of different kind of brushes. These few brushes here, I don't know if these are all of them. I'm pretty sure the set came with more, but these are the 3 that I use more than the others. This was a BH Cosmetics set. I believe it was like $8. It might have been more than that. It might have been like, it's between $8 and $12. It came with these 4, I know for sure. I'm pretty sure it was a total of 6 or 7 brushes, but some of them I don't use and some of them I do. And this brush was the Shining Star. I love this brush. I grab for this brush so often because it just does a beautiful job at blowing out harsh lines. Of course, you can find brushes that look like this in all like tons of different brands make them. I know that Coastal Scents makes brushes that look similar to this. Morphe makes brushes that look similar to this. Sigma. I think Morphe brushes is a little bit more cost effective than Sigma brushes, but I hear that Sigma's really good too. It just kind of depends on where you're comfortable with spending money on brushes, because the thing about brushes is they last a long time unless they're not made well. So they can lose their shape, they can shed, so sometimes when you dole out more money, they tend to last longer, and in the long run they're, you know, more beneficial. But if makeup's not that like huge of an issue for you, you could just buy roller brushes from like BH Cosmetics and you'll get a brush that looks similar to this, or this brush in fact, in that roll. I browse that site all the time. I'm a big BH Cosmetics fan. I have tons of their brushes and I have purchased tons of rolls. I find that some of them are a little bit hit and miss. Some of the rolls are better than others. There are certain brushes that I personally just don't like using. I don't like using flat brushes for concealer. I don't like using flat brushes to put my foundation on. I don't like using sponges. Sometimes the certain rolls come with more brushes like that and I don't like them. But that's a personal preference. You of course may love putting your foundation on with a flat brush or love using sponge tip brushes. So it really just is personal preference. But for the eye, for blowing out your eye look, a brush like this is crucial to have in your collection. Not necessarily this brush specifically, but this shape, just kind of a domed fluffy brush. I also have one from Sonia Kashuk, from the Sonia Kashuk set. This is the only brush I kept from that set. I love this brush for when I screw up, when I like mess up my eyes. I like taking this brush and it really helps to kind of like correct. It's like the buffing master. So it's a lot bigger than this brush in the sense of like how fluffy it is, if you can see the difference. It looks a little bit like a concealer brush, but it's really fluffy and it does an amazing job of just really buffing. So a more precise application, if you don't have a defined crease, or if you want to define your crease a little bit more, just kind of make it really shadowed, these brushes are best. These are a little bit smaller and a little bit denser, and they're a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? They're more precise. They are more precise brushes. They look like this, so that most of them are a little bit taller and they're pretty dense. They're a lot denser than the other brushes that are a lot fluffier. So sometimes I'll go in with, because I'm excessive, by the way, I'll go in with a brush like this, and then I'll go in with a defining brush, like one of these. This is an e.l.f. crease brush, and I love this brush. This brush is amazing for super precise eyeshadow application. This one is a Morphe brush that I purchased. It's the M4401. I purchased it off the Morphe website. I used a coupon code, either YWPs or Kathleen Lights, and I got 10% off, and I love it. It's great for starting. I could just go in with this in the beginning, or I can like turn it and make it a little bit more precise. Honestly, I feel like this brush is crucial to any collection. However, you may not agree with me. This is crucial to my collection. This brush is crucial to my collection and my eye application. I feel like this makes blending out eyeshadows and working with eye makeup that is a little bit more pigmented so much easier. And then this is a Makeup Geek brush. It's the soft dome brush, and I love the Makeup Geek line of brushes. I want to get more of them. I love this brush. It's soft, it works amazingly, it blends out eyeshadow beautifully. I adore this brush. Do you need both of these? Probably not. I find that this one is a little more crucial to my collection, but I do really enjoy using this one. You would need one of these in your collection, not specifically these brands, but the kind that look like this. They're a little bit taller and a little bit denser. These are the 3 brushes that I have in my collection that I use for deepening that outer V of your eye, but also working the bottom lash line. So I have a Morphe E36, and this is a BH Cosmetics 105. This came in that set that I spoke of before, and this I purchased with my Morphe brushes. Now this brush, I know how I got it, but I don't know anything else about it. I bought this in a set at Marshall's when I was probably like 16. It was like my first makeup set, and I have not found a brush that beats this one. And you'll have that where you find a brush that comes from a no-name company or comes in just a random roll. You could get it from Groupon, you can get it from Amazon, you can get it from I don't know, searching the internet and just coming across something random, and you will fall in love with those brushes. It happens to me all the time. Like, I love this brush. It's so soft. It never scratches my bottom lash line, and it never scratches my eyes. Now, not that these scratch, these are really good, but they're a different shape. I don't know how to describe it besides like kind of showing you. They all look the same, but this one's a little bit fatter, but a little bit more precise. And I find that this gives me the best application in my inner corner and on my bottom lash line. Not to say that I don't love these two as well. Like, I use both of these brushes. They do the exact same thing. I just find I have to work a little bit harder using these than when I use this one. So this would be, in my opinion, is crucial. I don't think a lot of people use bottom lash line brush for like their outer V, but my eyes are kind of smaller, and I find that if I use a bigger brush or even like one of the denser brushes that are good for that sort of thing, it gets everywhere. I like the more precise, and then I'll go in and buff it out a little bit. But regardless of whether or not you use this for your outer V or your bottom lash line, I feel like a brush like this, it's like a pointed, soft brush, is crucial for any makeup collection. Next set that you definitely need is flat shader brushes. Now, these are great for packing on color. Like, I don't really have a preference. They all do the job. They all do the job pretty much the same. I actually have a lot of these. I just picked 3 for my collection that weren't incredibly dirty. I know that here, e.l.f. makes one as well, so I'll just throw out 4. Like, this is the e.l.f. I assume shader brush. It doesn't have the name on it, but this $3, you know, from the drugstore. You can probably get your entire brush collection from e.l.f. and be happy with it, because they are incredibly well made, and I've had this brush forever and it works and it never shed, and I can say that for all of my e.l.f. brushes. This is another brush that I got from that set from Marshall's. It's just a flat shader brush. I just really liked it, so I've held on to it. After all these years, it came in the same set that this brush came in, the little pointer brush that I really enjoyed. And then these 2 brushes, this one came in that set with the BH Cosmetics other brushes, and this one is just a BH Cosmetics brush from one of their rolls. I have a bunch of, this was their rose gold packaging. I just thought it was really pretty and I bought it. I have, I believe, 2 rolls that I purchased from BH Cosmetics. One of them was the rose gold and one of them was the purple party girl. I liked them. I liked both those rolls. They have good brushes and they have good quality brushes. I just grabbed for my favorites a little bit more, but if my favorites are dirty or if I need to just throw on makeup, they do the job and they work great. So I really like a lot of the BH Cosmetics rolls, and by roll I mean they come in a, here, let me show you. They come in a roll like this. Like, the rose gold packaging came in this, where it's a roll of brushes, and the purple party girl came in this. And they're different designs, and they came with the brushes were pretty similar. They just, some of them were slightly different. It really was just a preference. I had already purchased the Party Girl ones, and I had them for a little while, and then I saw they had a rose gold set, and I'm obsessed with rose gold, so I purchased that one as well, because I'm excessive. The last brush I have, and this is the only brush of its kind that I use for this is my inner corner brush. This is the brush. It's an e.l.f. brush. It's a little bit dense. It's technically referred to as the contour brush. Like, you can use it to contour like your nose and like different parts of your face if you need to. I don't really feel the need to contour my nose, so I don't use it for that. I use it to put my inner corner highlight on sometimes. Like, this is the brush that I mainly use for that. Sometimes I'll use one of the other pointed brushes, like these 3, if I can't find this one or if this one's dirty. Sometimes I'll use one of these, but mostly I use this brush to pack on my inner corner highlight. I'm gonna do 2 honorable mentions because I use these for other types of like they're specialty brushes in the sense that I use them for specific types of products. There's a set of brushes. It's called the Contour 1 set on BH Cosmetics, and I think that everybody should go out and purchase it. It's an amazing set of brushes. They have both face brushes and eye brushes in that set, and they're all meant for contouring or, you know, something or other. They've got a great brush that puts foundation on beautifully. They've got a great contour brush in that set. They have an under eye brush for buffing out under eye product. But I think one of my favorite brushes from that set is this brush right here, and it is a domed brush that is very, very dense but still has a little give. It's different from this brush. This brush, as you can see, is a lot smaller and it's a lot denser. So it doesn't do quite what this brush does for me. This brush is incredible for cream eyeshadow. Well, I guess this is an honorable mention, but I'm gonna talk about it anyway. This is the eyeliner brush. I have a bunch of eyeliner brushes. This one's my favorite. This one came in a set of Disney brushes. I believe you've seen this being used in a tutorial. I find that a lot of the drugstore brushes and a lot of the drugstore or affordable brushes are just as good as some of the high-end brushes. Now, to be honest, I don't have a lot of high-end brushes. I want to get some in the future just to see if maybe I'm missing out on something, and if I am, I'm gonna let you guys know that, hey, I was wrong. Throw away all of your affordable brushes and put this on your Christmas list. Like, I will let you guys know. For those of you on Team Warrior Princess who are here and excited to, you know, talk and learn, leave me a comment with your favorite brush or your favorite brush set or your favorite line of brushes. If I have never explored or experienced it, I want to know. It can be high-end, it can be bargain, I don't care. Go out there and slay, be beautiful, be yourselves, rock it. I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow.